thankful. Should I start over?
Oh, go ahead.
We're thankful for so much for your presence here today and for your support and for the social media where we get to share everything about the animals' lives. So just want to remind everyone that we do have a raffle. If you're present now and you were not able to buy a raffle to win a 30-minute free reading with any of our animal communicators today, then you can still do that until the end of the meeting. And then we will announce at the end who the winners are. By attending this, I just wanted to make sure that you understand that you are agreeing to be recorded. And having you visibly shown on this Zoom meeting means that you will get an opportunity to get a reading and get connected with your loved furry one. So of the people who are here today, they are all brilliant, just wonderful, kind people who are donating their time to do this and for the sanctuary as a fundraiser, and donating the proceeds to us. So we're so thankful for that, because every little bit helps. And many of you know that we have struggled in the fundraising department lately. So this is a wonderful treat for us. And to have that kind of support from an organization like the Animal Communication Collective. So I will be turning this over to Sally, who is the HBIC here. And thank you everyone for being here today.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for coming tonight and for supporting a wonderful sanctuary. I just want to introduce the Animal Communication Collective. We are a group of, I don't know the exact count right now because we're growing, but about 30 women who have all gone to the same animal communication school and been certified in this. We meet on a regular basis and decided that a way of giving back is to raise money for sanctuaries and shelters and rescues across the country. So we do have some international members who also participate in international fundraising. All of the money that we collect goes directly to the rescues. So this is 100% volunteer organization. And it makes us all very happy to do this. So again, thank you. And I'm going to introduce you to the readers for tonight and the other members of the collective who are here. So I'll start out. I'm Sally. I live outside of Boston in a city called Newton, Massachusetts. And I have my own business in animal communication, and I also offer energy healing to animals. And I'm thrilled to be here. So I'm going to turn it over to Anna.
Hello, my name is Anna. I'm originally from Poland, living in Massachusetts, and I'm soul-level animal communicator and Reiki practitioner. And I'm very excited to be here and communicate with your animals. So thank you for having us.
Pamela.
Hi, my name is Pamela, and I'm from Cazenovia, New York, which is a little town outside of Syracuse, upstate New York, near Lake Ontario. And I'm not just doing this, I also have a business in animal communication. I teach older adults how to use computers, their smartphones, the internet, research, things like that. I was going to say my reason of what really drew me to be a part of this group was came from my childhood. I grew up on a farm, and very often, not my dad, he was good, but there would be people that worked with the cows. And I was always very frustrated because I felt I did understand sometimes what was happening, how the animals felt about that. People dropped off kittens in boxes, just a lot of things that I saw there. And I was very frustrated not being able to help in this. I feel like this organization, you're helping and we're helping you.
Thank you. Tracy?
Hi, I'm Tracy. I live in Ontario in Canada. And when I'm not here doing this kind of thing, I help people who are struggling in their relationship with their animals, whether that be behavior, grief and loss. Sometimes it's just relationship fit, or just overwhelm if they're dealing with an animal who might be struggling with health issues. So, and I do that through coaching, through training, and obviously through animal communication. And I'm really happy to be here, and I love what we do in terms of helping animals and these rescues who are doing such great work. So thank you for the privilege of being here.
Thank you. Julie?
Hi, my name is Julie Hiert. I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I am going to be behind the scenes today, just managing Zoom and the tech and whatnot. I am a soul level animal communicator as well as a soul level intuitive coach. And I'm also the co-host of the Animal Communication Podcast with Karen Bedby Smith, who for me is right over there in the box of everything. So if you're interested to learn more about animal communication, you can, of course, follow the Animal Communication Collective and also check out our podcast.
Thank you. I want to give, I don't see Jody. I don't think she's here. Okay. I want to give a shout out to Karen Denby Smith, who is the lead honcho of our group. I also want to give a shout out to Jane Fieldis, who is also a soul level animal communicator. So thank you for coming tonight, Jane. Okay. Tracy?
Just before we begin, we wanted to tell you a little bit about what is it? What is a certified animal communicator? And then what is it, this whole thing of communication with animals? So I'm going to explain those two things briefly. So a soul level animal communicator who has been certified. Everyone who's part of the Animal Communication Collective, as Sally mentioned, went to the same school. And our training in order to be certified involved going through a number of levels of learning and assessment through that process, in addition to doing a good number of readings that we had to submit, and in addition to other kinds of ways of being tested. So it was quite a rigorous process for all of us, I think, but it certainly gives us a certain standard to go by, and consistency with everyone on the team. And then animal communication, and what is that? As you may know, if you all have animals, you probably know just naturally that there is this intuitive communication that you have with them, where they know what it is you need and want at different times, and you also become really good at tuning in with them. So animal communication, animals are intuitive, so are we, and they communicate telepathically all the time. It's just their natural way. And so when we communicate with them, we raise our vibration to a level that we can more easily receive the information they share. And we get that, sometimes we see images, we hear sounds or words, language, that kind of thing. Sometimes we just know it, and sometimes we feel it. And when we receive that information, then we share it with you as cleanly as we can. And by that, I mean not using our imagination or adding to it, but just sharing it as we receive it, so that you can then, make sense of it with your animal. So that's basically what we do.
Thank you. We're going to start the readings in just a minute, but I want to explain what we're going to be looking for when we call on you. Number one is we want you to feel comfortable having a reading. So each of the readers will ask you before we start if you are comfortable having a reading in this forum, and if you agree and give permission, we'll proceed. The only information that we want to receive from you is the name of the animal, the species, whether it is alive or in spirit. Okay, and think about a question that you would like to ask your animal. So, oh, and thank you, Julie. Reminder that in order to be called for a reading, your camera needs to be on. That indicates to us that you're willing to receive a reading. Okay. All right. We don't want any more information other than those elements that I've already listed. Too much information can really interfere with the quality of the reading. Okay, so we're going to get started. And I'm choosing intuitively Lisa. Are you interested in having a reading tonight? You're muted.
Yes, I am.
Excellent.
We are.
Okay, Lisa. Tell me who you would like to talk to tonight.
We have so many, but Crash is a black cat, or was a cat that we had, and he passed away.
Okay, so male cat in spirit. Okay. Lisa, Anna and I are going to connect to Crash. So give us a moment. So I am receiving that Crash was a real wise guy. A very assertive personality. If he could have spoken English and out loud, he would have been telling the world what he thought about it all the time. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah, he was very vocal. Very, very vocal. Always was. "Meow." He talked to me a lot. Yeah, called me mama.
So when he came to my space, I saw him pretty big. And it doesn't mean that he was large in size, but it feels to me more like his personality. And he kind of kept a distance from me and was like, what do you want to talk about? So I'm sensing like kind of diva attitude, big personality. And he told me also like he was the boss. So I'm not sure of who, but he was the boss. Does this resonate with you?
Oh, yes, yes. He was the oldest of all our cats, and he was the boss.
Why don't you tell us what your question is for him?
There's so many. I guess to make sure that he's okay still. That's kind of a general one, but just kind of want to make sure he's okay.
So he's telling me he's in charge, and he's fine. You should not to worry. He just said, I actually like it here. And so let me ask him, what brought that on? Why? Because I call the shots. So this is just a continuation of his dominant personality, big, this big, robust personality that he had. Anna?
For me, he was referring of the timing of his passing. And for some reason, he want to let you know it's like it was the right time. So I'm not sure if you are still struggling. Like I had the feeling like you had to put him down because of his illness. And it's like the timing was right. And it felt like it was relief of all his pain and discomfort. Does this make sense?
Yes, yes, and thank you for saying that. I think I held on to him just a little bit too long. So
No, but the feeling I'm getting, like he wanna give you the comfort the time was right. So it wasn't too late or too early or anything. It was just it at the time it was right. And he's also showing me other cats, and kind of like he's coming from the back, and some of the cats might like freak out and run to another room. Is him being around. Does this resonate with you?
yeah. We do. We have 2 boys left and they have been acting very, I don't know. It's like someone's chasing him or them. So
Yeah, and it seems to me like they're much younger than he
Yes.
was, and he's kind of playing and teasing them and almost like biting in the butts, and then they run away.
That's funny because yes, last week Milbert was acting very weird and we didn't like there was nothing around, but I was like, it's probably Crashy.
Yeah.
Now he's still with us. We fill him, so,
So-
that.
Anytime this happens, just say thank you for visiting, being with us. Please come again.
Yes, for sure. We love it. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Great. I hope we answered your question.
You did. Thank you.
Good. I have nothing else on my end. Anna, you want to take it?
It just feels like he was pretty amazing and big personality. So he is for sure around because his big energy cannot just disappear. He is there.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So just let's take a second to disconnect from Crash. And I'm drawn to Emily. Are you open to have a reading with us, Emily? We cannot hear you.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, I am open. Sorry.
That's okay. So who would you like us to connect with? We need your animal name, gender, species, and you. And if the animal is alive or the spirit.
His name is Winston. He was a male, a Doxy Poo dog, and he is deceased.
Male dog in spirit. Okay. So just give us a second. I'm closing my eyes. It doesn't mean I don't want to see you. It's just easier for me to connect. Okay. I'm smiling because as soon Winston comes to my space, he come like running to my space and almost like a cartoon dog. And when they want to stop, they're like, and I'm sensing a lot of energy, very vibrant personality. And it feels to me like he was constantly on a go, very eager to do something, a lot of energy. And it's like very curious about everything. Like it feels like he was everywhere, if that makes sense.
Yes.
This resonates with you. Very
Yes.
fun personality, like a happy-go-lucky dog, it feels to me.
Yes.
I'm working also with Anna on this reading. And when I first saw Winston, he was showing me something about the way he walked, that sometimes and it's almost like he was walking and doing the special step that he did, and then looking back to see if people were watching that.
Yes.
That's-
Yes. Yes, that's correct.
Almost like when horses lift their feet up like that, so.
He did do that. He would walk and then he would look behind us to see if we were behind him. Yeah. That's right.
And I'm seeing him on my right side, and that's for me is indication of a dog who was very well obedient, and he didn't have to have formal training, but it looks like you just look at him and he knew what you expect from him. He was like, yep, I got it, I got it. But then it feels to me like sometimes he was like, sorry, but I couldn't focus, and boom, he was away. Do you understand? Like
Yes.
sometimes
Yes.
he couldn't contain his energy and was like, yeah, I'm listening, I'm a good boy, but I have to go.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
I'm also seeing a little, it looks to me sort of like a tug of war kind of game that animals would play, that or times he gets very stubborn about that, like won't give it up if it's a game. Might go a little too far with the game sometimes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
He's also letting me know when he shows me that and that it's sort of like he's saying, yeah, and that's perfectly fine, and that's how I'm gonna do that. And that's how I play.
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes.
He didn't want to give it up.
And for some reason, his energy is so vibrant, and it feels to me like he was an old dog when he passed. Do you understand? Like he was still young, I would say.
That's correct. He was older. Yes.
He was older, or
Yes, he was. He was older. Yes.
oh, okay. But his energy feels like, oh,
Yes,
so-
yes. His age was older, but he still, up until later, he was more vibrant, more energetic for a dog. Yes.
And what is your question for Winston?
Well, I'm wondering, since he's passed, I just want to make sure he's not alone on the
Okay.
other side.
So with who is he on the other side?
Well, I've had other pets that have passed as well over the years. So
But you want to know with who he is on the other side?
yes, if you're able to kind of, if there's other dogs with him or if it's people, I don't know if you're able to tell that, but
I'm getting from him that he's very, he felt very close to you in particular. And that there is like other beings there with him, probably the other animals that you had, but he's spending a lot of time focused on you now, and just supporting you, being with you. He's aware they're there, and that's good, but it's almost like I saw them, it's your turn now to support her. Your animals are there, and it's kind of like his turn.
thank you.
I'm not seeing animals with Winston, but I'm seeing older lady, and I would describe maybe like in her 80s she passed, and very direct, very outspoken, someone who wasn't shy. She was like a firecracker. If she wanna say something, she was bold and direct. So, and it feels to me like this lady, it's like generation of the 2 generation above you. So I don't know, does this resonate?
So I do have a great grandmother that has passed that I knew growing up. So and she passed away in her 90s, so it could be her.
And she was like very direct, outspoken lady. That's how it was.
Yeah. Yes, she was a very kind woman, and yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. So I guess what you're saying is that he's also with human spirits too.
Yes, that's how it feels to me. And they didn't have to know each other on, on earth because they're both in spirit, but definitely they're both connected to you. And it feels like, yeah, this lady is kind of like taking care of him or being happy then they're together, bringing her joy.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you.
I was
Anything?
getting a little of his, what he's letting me know what he does or he is attempting to do with you to let you know that he's still present with you
Yeah.
often. And one thing I saw was like if you're sitting, maybe he would be by your feet and that he still does that. And he also let me know that he feels that you already know that.
Yeah.
When it's happening, but he's sort of sending it to say, yes, that does happen. And
Yes.
I'm still with you and I still care and supporting you.
Yes. That's really nice. Thank you.
Yeah. I think he also is letting me know that you were his go-to when you wanted to talk about something.
Yeah.
He's still there for you.
It's great. Thank you.
And I'm also sensing from Winston like he was in your life to give you joy and laughter, because he's saying like you can be very serious and like everything you're doing needs to be 150% done. If it's 100, it's not good enough. So he's like, you need to relax and have fun. Does this resonates with you?
Yes. Yes.
Love his personality and the happiness he is radiating. So thank you for letting us connect with him.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate this. This means a lot to me. Thank you.
You will.
So I guess we'll move on. I want to thank him. So I will be doing the next reading with Tracy. Okay. Gotta unmute yourself.
I will, but I figured you'd choose someone and then we'd do it.
Okay, so Kat, would you be interested in having a reading?
Yes.
Okay, good. Turn your mic off. Okay. So we'll just start by we'll just check in with. No, we will ask you. What is the name of your animal?
So it's a Buttercup, a dog, and she's its spirit.
She, right?
And what's your question, Kat? Just so that we have that as we kind of go into this.
I want to know what lessons she's working with me on now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, of course, the first thing I hear is that song, Sweet Little Buttercup. So it's sort of like I heard that music.
Yeah,
and-
we dance to that song.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what she's been kind of moving to it. So it made her feel happy how you sang to her with that.
Kat, it feels like one of her strengths or superpowers, if you like, was kind of not just bringing people together, but the word making amends keeps coming to my mind, but it really feels like when she was around, there was a sort of a healing, a coming together, a softness. She seemed to have this ability to sort of make things better, for lack of a better way to express it. Does that make sense to you?
She was good dog medicine. She absolutely was.
Feels like that was really her big superpower.
I also see, she's showing me that she's was very attentive to you, like might follow you around and then sit in a kind of upright or, position, like I'm right here.
Yeah, she was Velcro.
But what I'm getting from her is that's automatically, she knew that was her job. Like this, she looks at that as a job. This is where her purpose. So that may be getting in a little bit to the lesson thing, that paying attention and being there for you, and observing what you're doing.
Mhm. And just sort of piggybacking on what I had said before, what I heard was, especially for you, she had that role of really sort of supporting you, healing you, and it kind of made me chuckle when she said it. But what I heard was, she was like your personal spa, that she helped you kind of be in that better zone and be calmer and just have that kind of energy. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, it totally does.
And there's something she does, and I think it was more like a way that she would look at you, when whatever it is you were working on, with the lessons, and I think it was I'm getting that it might have been something about, how you talk to yourself, things you say to yourself. She didn't think were very positive, and she had a way of looking at you, maybe turn her head and just looking at you, and that was part of the way she would do a lesson to remind you, what are you thinking now?
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
it's like a person looking at me. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's continuing that, by the way. She's continuing it in the way that when you think of that, or when you're doing whatever it was kind of negative thinking, that you'll think of her, and that's that she can still send that to you, that reminder.
Thought is to be good self-talk, and I'd immediately think of her. So
Good. It's interesting, Pamela, you were talking about sort of, I don't know, like getting things done. What I saw while you were talking was you, Kat, sitting at a desk or doing something like that, but organizing papers and maybe getting so frustrated sometimes and throwing things. And she's sort of watching you, trying to figure out a little bit like why the energy like that, why the sort of not stressing so much, but just attention that you had when you were doing this kind of thing, trying to get organized and throwing things. Not that you were literally throwing things, but in her, she's showing me paper sort of floating to the ground, and she's looking at you like, what are you doing? And just sort of bringing in a little bit of it's okay energy.
yeah, she did that. And sometimes she would she was a English bulldog. She had a big head. She would just put her face like really on my papers, like to get pause. Yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely showing me papers, so that makes sense. All right, let me just, I'm going to connect. I know, Pamela, you already kind of addressed the question a bit, but I'm going to connect a little more directly around the question you asked, which is what lessons is she working on with you now, right?
Yeah.
Is that okay, Pamela?
Yes. Yep.
So what I see, oh, go ahead, Pamela.
I had something a little different from the other one, and that was about what I heard was getting out. You need to get out.
Yeah.
Okay. Just that. Then I don't know if she's just sending it to you or reminding you.
Yeah.
I think she was using this opportunity to remind you.
Yeah, I'm an introvert, and she's telling me get out the front door and be with people. Yeah.
Love it. I love that she's still coaching you from the other side. What I saw was literally as if she were doing Reiki or some kind of energy work with you, and now she can't directly be with you. I see her standing as if she had human hands just holding energy and holding space around you to help kind of keep that vibration for you, keep that energy for you.
Wow.
I'm going to say almost like containment. Yeah, almost like containment or support. Does that make sense to you at all?
Yeah, I've been going through a really rough time, and I definitely feel her comfort, and it help. I love you, kid. It helps so much. She's amazing.
I know that. The phrase that I just heard her say along with this, because as we were talking about this, it's like she wants to help hold the energy so that it reflects within you. And what did she say? she wants you to trust yourself. And she literally said, I want her to trust herself. I want her to trust herself. And it feels like she's kind of holding this energy to help you do that.
I got something interesting, sort of, it was like a little self-reflection that she was doing. And it was sort of like, I really can do this. I really can do this. Like, I can come and be there with you. And you know that. And it was sort of like, she goes, this gave her the opportunity again to let you know that. And she's just excited about it. I don't know if she didn't expect it or what, but she's.
That's great.
When I connect with animals, I generally don't get cartoon imagery. I know some people do, but what I'm seeing now is kind of a cartoon version of her. And it feels like it relates a little bit to what Pamela said. I see her like pulling on your hand and pushing your foot, and she's like running around you, and she's like, she's so great and she doesn't know it. She's so great. I wish she'd get that. So she's like all enthusiastic trying to get that. And she's literally like pulling on your foot, pulling on your hand, anything to kind of get you moving and get you to see how great she sees you to be. So, but that's one of the things she's working on with you now.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So I just heard, yeah, so I'm still busy. So it's almost like, someone who does that and says that, but they're not going to stop being busy. So that, I think, was more of a personality thing she threw out. So.
And just one last thing from her. I just was checking to see if there's anything she wanted to share. She really wants you to know that she's always with you. She's always with you.
Thank you. Love you, Buttercup. Thank you, ladies.
Welcome. So does that answer your question?
More than enough. I'm so honored. Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. Glad we were able to help.
Thank
All right. So we're just going to disconnect from beautiful Buttercup. Okay. And then I am reading with Sally. So Sally, I'm just going to bring you up here. And I was wondering, and I think this is your initial and last name, but S. Mark Lee. I'm not sure what I should address, how I should address you properly. Would you like to have a
Hi.
reading with us?
It's Sandy.
Sandy. Hi, Sandy.
Hi.
Would you like to have a reading with us?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to move you. Oops. Just going to move you up so I can see you. There we go. All right. So
it's his name is Elijah. He's a dog and he's still with us. He's still alive.
okay. And what question would you like us to ask as we're connecting with him?
How can I help him? Specifically, does he want to stay or wishing to cross over?
Okay.
But how can I help him the best for what's best for him?
Okay. So just for when we get to that question, Sally, and for you, Sandy, is it okay if we ask, like, how can we best support him? Or
Yes.
how can you best support him?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. All right. Is that okay with you, Sally? All right. Okay, Sandy, we're just going to connect with Elijah and start sharing some information with you. Okay. So Sandy, like before I even sort of finished even connecting with him, the word sweet came through so strongly. It just felt like so sweet. Does that make sense to you?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. All right.
I didn't get sweet. He came in very calm and quiet. And he's sending me a feeling of being very wise. Does that resonate with you?
Yes.
He does seem to be insisting that he has a sweet part to him. However, he really comes across as a thinker. That he's sort of wants to ponder things. He may not be quick to react to things. He just seems to want to sort of think it through before he does something. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm feeling the same, that he's very observant of life around him, and he takes it all in. So in that same vein, he's not a spontaneous reactor. He thinks about what he is seeing, what's around him. So I'm laughing because the word intellectual just came into my brain, so he sees himself as an intellectual.
It's funny you got that, Sally, because I was actually thinking like college professor. That's exactly what was in my mind. And a little bit like it feels like he's a little discerning in that around who he wants to be around. Like it's not that he doesn't like others, but he's a little bit discerning. Like they kind of
Yeah.
have to meet his expectations or his criteria. That makes sense to you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
He thinks he's all that.
yeah. It feels though, he may think he's all that, but it feels like he kind of is all that. Like there's a lot of qualities about him that make him all that.
Yeah.
It's not just in his mind.
Well, he said to me after you said he thinks he's all that, I heard him say, I am all that. So
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see him say that. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Um, so if I go to your question about what you can do to support him, he's telling. I'm getting I just got a download of information that when he is ready, he will let you know. But he is not done yet. And like everything in his life, he's methodical, and he's methodical about the end as well. And so he's thinking about it, but it's he's not there yet. Tracy, what do you get?
Well, a couple things just sort of going back to his personality and where he's at as well. He does want you to, which I think you know this already, but he is very connected to you. And although he may be discerning with others, you're his soft spot. You're his person who really gets him, and where he can, in a way, let his guard down. And he has, it feels like even if he may not show it all the time, he has a very, very deep love for you. And with the how to help him and how to best support him right now, he appreciates the creature comforts you give him. He wants to be comfortable. And he's a bit like a proud, well, it could be any man or woman, but it's coming through to me as like a proud older man who appreciates your help and wants you to kind of wrap around him, but he doesn't really want it to look like that's what you're doing. Like he kind of wants to keep his pride, like he's fine, he can do it himself, but he really does love what you're doing to take care of him. So whatever it is you're doing now, he really appreciates that. He just wants it to be kind of low key, like he's actually really just fine. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Sally?
Yeah. So one thing that he's just indicated to me is that he wants you to talk to him.
Okay. Okay.
He wants the communication. It is in his bond with you, he wants to feel the back and forth. It's a matter of respect for him. And so in terms of how can you make him more comfortable? By communicating with him, by talking to him, by just having conversations with him, it shows him that you're engaged and that you're respectful of his incredible intellect that keeps coming up. Yes, he's not showing me, oh, I want more treats or I want this. It's really about the conversation.
Yeah, that's very insightful. My mother has always told me that I have to talk to him. She talks to him all the time, even when he was younger. If we're leaving the house, she says, tell him, he understands.
Love it.
And that's what I have to work on. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah. A couple of the things he shared with me about how you can best support him. One was your presence, just your energy being near him. And it feels like he really likes you to be nearby, so that he knows you're there and has that energy. Touch seems to be kind of hit or miss in that he's definitely doesn't feel like a dog that wants a whole lot of smothering, not smothering, but you know how we get in there and we're like, ah. He's not a big fan of that. He likes you to be nearby and sometimes touch and any kind of energy work. I think he would appreciate that. It feels like he would appreciate that. And it also came through very clearly that he wants you to trust what you think is best for him. Like he has a lot of confidence in your decision making and what you think is best, but he really wants you to trust that in terms of what you think will best support him. So,
Okay.
makes sense. Do you have anything else, Sally?
Yes, one other thing, and that's I want to piggyback on your what you just said, and that is that through the conversations with you, he will let you know when he is ready. You will just you'll understand him intuitively when he's ready. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Very, very helpful.
And just one last thing from him. He and I completely got similar information to Sally about that. He really wants you to know how much he loves you, and he wonders whether you like he doesn't always feel like he's the best communicator about that, which is why he wants it to come this way. But he really does want you to know how deeply he loves you. And as Sally said, he will let you know whether it's a big visual or not, but he will make sure you know. And he feels that you will know, like whether it's indicated or not, he feels you will know. Okay.
Thank you.
That answer your question?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Sally and Tracy.
You're so welcome. We're going to disconnect from Elijah, and then Sally will take over.
I just want to mention that this is the last call to buy raffle tickets for those of you who haven't bought a ticket and are interested in possibly reading winning a free 30-minute reading from one of us. At the end of the next reading, we'll be closing off raffle ticket sales. Okay, so I just want to disconnect for. Okay, so the next reading I'm going to be doing with Pamela. And I am drawn to Natalia. Are you interested in having a reading tonight? You're muted. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Oh gosh.
So Natalia, tell us the name of your animal.
His name is Will. He is no longer with us. He passed March 1st of this year, actually. So it hasn't been too long, but yeah, I just, really would love to hear anything he would like to say to me or, anybody in my family. And I guess, yeah, just anything you can get from him would be deeply appreciated.
Okay, so what was Will's species?
Oh, he's a dog. I'm sorry. He was a dog.
My screen froze for a minute, so Will passed dog, yes?
Yes, yes, he's a dog and he's passed on.
And do you have a specific question for Will?
It's really hard to kind of narrow it down to just one. I mean, it's kind of a mix of I'd like to know if I don't know if happy would be the right word, but content, if he feels content. I guess kind of a part B to that would be if he's with anybody else he's loved or that we've loved or anything like that. But I understand if that's, kind of harder to tap into.
Let's see what we get. We can ask.
Thank you.
So give us a moment to connect. I'm laughing because he came in, he kind of dramatically faded in to my space, and moving his legs up and down and dancing to 76 trombones. You know that song from The Music Man?
I actually don't, but my mom just laughed because she does, and he was very close to her too, so maybe that had something to do with it.
I also got a little, some playful things, from him, like, when there's outdoors maybe, or even the house, liking to, like he thinks there's exciting stuff under some furniture, that kind of play. I see him kind of putting his nose down and checking things. Does that make sense?
He was a sniffer. He was a sniffer and very tactile in how he explored the world around him.
Okay, so he's just showing me that, but that was like really fun, like almost like a game for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just asked him what to tell me about the dancing and the song that he chose. And so I'm getting this very playful, full of energy. You keep fading in and out, Natalia.
I heard, just giving you exactly what I heard was like, Natalia, I'm so okay. I am so okay. I'm all right. I mean, I've adapted. I'm okay. I feel like he's saying this to you for reassurance. It's just sort of like, I'm all okay now. Everything is okay. I think he's talking about himself physically.
That's really good to know.
Yeah, he's showing me, I'm still getting on the energy front that he was an energetic boy. And I think Pamela mentioned that he loved to play. The world was exciting to him. Being outside was exciting. Smelling different smells. I'm seeing him running in grass. Just all these experiences were joyous for him. She disappear? Oh no, she's there. Okay.
Yes, still here.
I lost you on my screen.
Oh no. Yeah, I sorry, hope the connection's okay, but I can hear you.
Okay.
So, does that resonate with you? Any of what I said?
Very much so, very, very much so. And it makes me feel really good to know that he always seemed exuberant, but you know, just having that confirmation is really great to hear, you know.
I got something a little different. Well, it's connected, but a little different in the way he's presenting it. He said that um, about imagining things, and this is again why he showed me that he would imagine there was something really scary under a place or something for him to catch. That you have a good imagination. He was saying that she has a really good imagination, and I'm sensing that you're not using it as much, not saying oh like that, and it brings you joy when you do that. Even daydreaming, it's like you enjoy doing that, and he feels that you haven't been doing that, and he'd like to encourage you to do that some more. Again, it makes you happy.
That definitely makes sense.
I keep being drawn back to the music. So Natalia, are you a singer? Do you sing?
So funny enough, I really don't very much, but growing up I really wanted to be on Broadway, and I have a little bit of social anxiety. I have performed on stage. I actually was in one movie that was about as far as I took it, but I really wanted it. And he was always the one that I felt uninhibited about singing and practicing tap, practicing ballet, even though I have horrible proprioception, you know, just like, cause he would never mock me. And, you know, I loved to sing to him. I really did when we were in the car, when he was in my bedroom. So I could definitely see, cause I don't sing anymore, that he's gone. Not even when I'm by myself, because it just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah,
He wants you to sing. He wants you to sing. He came in to me singing. The music has just been this dominant theme running throughout this reading. And it doesn't really matter whether you're any good or not. It's about how you feel when you're singing. And he's showing me that there's a transformation in you when you're performing. So he would like you to do more of that because it's good for you. And you don't have to be on Broadway. You can sing in the shower, you know, where the acoustics sound wonderful.
I think that the part that I got before about him, you know, your imagination and things like that is very freeing for you. And I think it ties in with being, you know, on a stage or singing or even in a play, a musical. I could see that would give you that you can be that person and sing like that person. And it's just, I don't know, it seems to lift a weight.
And ironically, I actually had written a play too, that did get performed, but I named my protagonist after my dog. His name was Will in the story.
Well, that's why he wants you to
Go
try.
for you too. So maybe that was something he was thinking of too, just drawing the line there.
So you need to go back to that. You need to right, and not be worried about him because he's fine, and he's looking in on you and keeping an eye on you and still trying to teach you your lessons. And this is a lesson for you on the performing. You know, it transforms you as a person. You come out of yourself, and he loved that. He just loved watching it. And he's still around, so he can hear. So you say you haven't been performing since he passed, but he'll hear you. if you were to get up right now and start singing, he'd be hearing you. So don't give it up because he's physically not present.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's hard to not think of him as just gone. So I really appreciate that.
I did get the sense that he has tried to get your attention about that, like the kind of things where you have a coincidence, you might be thinking something and then you hear the song on the radio, those kind of things. When those happen, he's taking the credit, let's put it that way, that he's making that happen for you, but he said I'm seeing that you have had some of those, and he wants you to know that that's him thinking about it.
That's kind of interesting because there's one song I used to sing to him a lot just because I like the rhythm and everything. It's called Iris. It's like really old, but I keep hearing it. It keeps coming up in playlists where I didn't even put it in. And, you know, they're on like YouTube and stuff, or like my husband and I were in the car listening to like a radio station. It was on again. And I was like, how many times have I heard that song in the past few years? I've heard it that much in the past few months, but I just thought it was some kind of algorithm thing or something, but that's crazy.
Well, he's taking the credit for that. But that's a pretty cool way for him to be there with you.
Yeah.
That is, thank you.
So did we answer your question, do you think?
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Good.
Thank you.
So, okay, we're closing down raffle sales. So thank you. And we'll draw the raffles at the end of the event. The next readers are Anna and Tracy.
Okay. So I'm drawn to Cindy. Are you open to have a reading with us? We cannot hear you yet.
Anna, who? Can you repeat the name? again?
Cindy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I find
Cindy's
my own-
iPhone. Okay.
Sorry. Hey, Cindy.
Hello, Julie.
Are you open to have a reading with us?
Absolutely. I would love
Yeah.
that.
Thank you. And who would you like us to connect with? We need your animal name and gender, and it's alive or in spirit.
Katie, female, alive, dog.
Katie, like the country?
No, Katie, like
Oh, Katie, got it. Sorry, thank you.
your
Katie, female, dog, alive. And do you have a question for Katie?
I do. The 2 of the last 3 nights, she's been extremely restless at bedtime and in the middle of the night, which is unlike her. But the main part of the question, I think, might be related to that. And for several months, she's been, she used to sleep while we were away, like whether it's 15 minutes or 3 hours, up and moving as far as we could tell the whole time. And I think I know the, basic reason on the surface, but I'm just wondering, like, with the soul level reason underneath all that, if I'm wording it the right way.
I'm not sure about the question, so how would you frame this, Tracy?
I'm just wondering about like what lesson is Katie working on with you?
Exactly.
Or yeah, what lesson is there and what Katie's doing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
So
so
what
just
lesson? What lesson
give us a second and we connect with Katie.
What lesson is this for you in this? What lesson is this for you? And what lesson is there for you in this? Okay. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
So when I connect with Katie, she comes and she immediately is like, just two of us, just two of us. So I don't know if there are other family members or the connection with you is so strong, but she's like, just two of us. And she's saying like, I'm her baby, I'm her baby. And it feels like so girly and so sweet. Just how she said it. Does this resonate with you?
Yeah.
And I didn't get a huge thing right away, but what I kept hearing was mischief. And I saw her kind of being a little, not naughty, but I just heard the word mischief and saw her kind of getting into things. Does that make sense at all?
Personality. She doesn't really do it, but that's at least now.
Yeah.
But personality, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely, that's why I wasn't seeing her do anything. She just mischief. She wanted you to.
And it feels to me like she is like constantly with you, very affectionate, but she doesn't leave you. It's like just by your side, almost like she is watching you constantly. Does this make sense? Like she
Yeah.
doesn't leave you, like a background dog who is just focused on you so much that she doesn't see anyone else.
Yeah, she's with me at work and at home. She's really, really fond of my husband too, though.
If she were a little girl, she would be dressed up in like not necessarily princess stuff, but
Yeah.
dressing herself up and kind of being entertainment for you. So there's a softness about it, but it feels like she's kind of in a playful way wanting to entertain you. And I literally see like this little girl kind of dressed up, and
Yeah.
that makes sense to you?
That's come up many times, and yeah, that's definitely.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very girly, very sweet
Very.
when it comes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm also receiving, like she can be stubborn. So she's sometimes you wanted her to do something, or then you call her and she's like, maybe not today, maybe not now. It feels like sweet, but there is some stubbornness to her.
Mhm.
Absolutely, whole life.
It does feel like with both you and your husband that bringing out your joy or your playfulness seems to be part of her work. That if either of you are too serious, she seems to find things to sort of get your attention and soften things up. Does that make
Yeah.
sense to you?
It does.
Yeah. Aw.
And I'm seeing Katie like shoving me herself from one side to another, and that's usually indication for me like, look at how pretty I am. Like, look at from one side to another. And it doesn't mean she is shallow, but it's just like she's very much aware of her beauty. And actually she likes when people compliment her or they get attention from people. She really enjoys that.
Yeah, yeah. We tell her that all the time.
Yeah. It looks and feels like she has different roles with you two, in that she takes her role very seriously, and it feels like part of her role is this sort of drawing you two out and playfulness, and she does feel like her role with you is very important, like that she puts on different hats depending on what you need. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
And she's making me aware of like she is very in tune with you, and not
Mhm.
only your emotion, but also like you tend to get a lot in your head, overthinking, overanalyzing. And then she's like, hey mom, look at me. I'm so funny. I'm so sweet. And like she wanted you to like snap of your, overthinking. That makes sense.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah, I am picking up on a little bit of nervous energy, that although she has all this lightness and knows her role, I just keep feeling it in my body a little bit of nervous energy, a little bit of I don't know if it's anxiety, but there's something going on that's a little off, I guess. It's a little uncomfortable for her. Does that make sense to you at all?
Is that because she lost her like brother in November, or that's when she started to be really restless when we're gone? but I just wondered if there was something underneath it.
Yeah, good question. I don't know if that's why from what I picked up, but I definitely felt this sort of like level of a level of anxiety or worry in her, a little bit unsettled. So let's see.
But when Tracy was talking about her being a little bit anxious, I had the feeling like she's picking up on your emotion a lot. So I'm wondering how you probably are still grieving and you're, you know, missing her brother. So she might be picking up on your emotion. So that's what came. I'm not sensing like she's anxious as her personality, but she is like a little sponge picking up from you.
Okay.
Are we ready to connect in a little bit about the question, Anna? Are you feeling, or are you already?
I think we're like, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
We're kind of in it already.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. Cindy, it does feel like, although she does all these lovely, I'm going to call them antics or things to draw you out and bring lightness, this anxiety I'm picking up on feels like another way to draw you out, that by you worrying a little bit about her and caregiving for her, it kind of helps you get out of, sort of, not get out of yourself. That sounds like a funny way to say it, but it draws you out so that you can focus on her and connect with her. So it feels like that is another way, when you talk about a lesson, it feels like that is part of the lesson, at least in her role and in the worry, in her anxiety, is having you focus your attention on her.
Okay.
She's also mentioning like you take care of everyone and everything around you, but sometimes you forget about yourself. You put yourself on a back burner. So that's, she comes to bring you the joy and like, hey, do something for yourself, do something with me, have fun. Does this resonates with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's actually referring to your husband and she's portraying him as being very calm, like very calm energy. And she said, that's why I like to sit with him. Do you understand?
Oh, cute. That's great.
You mentioned at the beginning her restlessness at night sometimes. And so I specifically kind of connected around that with regard to your question. And in terms of the lesson, she seems to be showing that when you don't kind of unwind fully yourself, you can't sleep well at night. And so sometimes with her worries, she's kind of been too wound up and too focused on all these things and she can't settle. And it feels like some of this is a bit of a mirror for you, a bit of a lesson for you around the importance of slowing down and softening and not kind of carrying things into the evening and into sleep. Does that make sense to you at all?
I'll be aware of that.
Oh, sorry. And the other part too, with the being up at night is, again, she seems to feel the importance of wearing a lot of hats and having different roles. She also feels like it's her job sometimes to get up and take care of you guys, in terms of like making sure everything's okay in the house. So it does feel like she's got a practical part of that at times as well, in addition to her lesson for you.
Sure. Gotcha. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So I don't feel like this is the part of a lesson, and I just feel a little bit tightness around her spine and like lower to her hips. But please remember, I'm not a vet. It's just what she's sharing with me, and it feels like a little bit tight around her spine, almost like the muscles are tight. So
And her spine and hips, you said?
Yeah, like around the spine, it feels almost like the muscles are tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know, she might be because she's very active and jumping and something, or with her age, I don't know, but she's making me aware of it, so I'm sharing with you. But again, I'm not a vet, it's just what she shared.
Yeah, no, you're on the money there.
Just did a final check-in to see if there's anything else she wants to share about the lesson and her being up at night.
Right.
And she wants, she's kind of repeating the idea of the mirroring, but it feels like as you settle, she can settle. And she really feels like there's a bit of a connection. Well, there's a big connection with you, but that it's important that she can settle. And as you are also able to settle, and maybe you don't feel like you're unsettled, but she seems to be indicating that as you are able to really settle, she can also really settle. Does that make
And
sense?
yeah, my husband seems to have a lot more trouble sleeping and staying awake. So could it be a little of that too?
Sure. I would think so. Yeah.
The whole time I'm seeing her, she's showing me like pink. So I'm not sure if she has any pink collar, pink bow, pink sweater, but something very girly pink. She is definitely liking or showing me.
Yeah, that's great. That's funny.
Sorry, and final thing, just to your question, I just wanted to double check around when I was like, sure. She does seem, even though your husband may be up, and in this reading, we've kind of brought him into it in a way too. She does feel like this is specifically geared to you, that she's aware of him, but that there is something with you and her around the settledness. And again, I don't know whether it's energetic or whether it's something you're worried about, or whether it's just, I don't know what it is, but she seems to feel that this is important with you.
Okay,
Specifically. I mean, she is aware of him, but it seems more specifically geared to you. So
great. I hear you.
does that answer your question, Cindy?
Thank you both so much. And Katie, thank you.
Oh, look at her beautiful face. Oh my gosh. No wonder she makes you smile. Look at that face. Well, thank you, Cindy, very much. All right, so we'll disconnect from her, and then we pass the torch back to Sally, I think, or because I think we have read everyone now.
We cannot hear yourself.
You're muted, Sally.
Okay. We're almost at the end, and we want to have time for the raffle drawing. So we're not going to be able to do any more readings tonight. What?
One person is left.
So okay, well,
Shauna is here.
Yeah.
Shauna is here
okay.
for her reading.
Okay, well, the next pair is Pamela and Anna. So you can go ahead.
Okay. I sometimes call myself Pamelana. Okay. Can you get your information from me, Shauna, please, like your animal? You have to unmute first there.
Hi, I have a cat. She's 16 and alive, and I was just wondering about her.
What's her name?
Her name is Miss Kitty.
Miss Kitty. Okay. And female cat, and she's alive. Do you have an idea of what question you'd like to ask her?
I have just noticed she has she seems like she's really close to me, and she's like always kind of conscious of what I'm doing and watching me, and she hasn't always been like that, so I'm just kind of curious how she, like, what she kind of thinks of the family dynamic, and does she have like a favorite person, or is there any specific reason she's like attached to me, I guess?
So sort of in general, why, what's going on right now with a little bit of change in behavior, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Anna, is that good? Okay. The first thing I'm getting from her is something about it, that she likes routine. Likes to have a routine every day, do certain things at a certain time, a certain way. And something happened, she's not showing me exactly what it was. Something happened that changed her routine or one part of her routine. Does that make sense at all?
Possibly. We have a dog that we've had, a rescue dog, for like a year and a half now, and so maybe that might be something altering her routine. And I'm not very good at keeping a routine, so I might be like disrupting her routine.
Okay, so I'll get more on that.
So when I connected with Miss Kitty, she seems like very sweet personality, and it feels to me like she really knows how someone is feeling, and she might be like with you right now and another week with someone else, and it's like almost like a little nurse who needs some comfort, who needs some love. She will go there, but immediately when she show you, I felt a little bit sadness coming from you. Do you understand this?
That might make sense. She lives at my mom's house, and I moved back with her about a year and a half ago too. And I don't know, I think it's been an emotional adjustment for me, and yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I do kind of see her going from like from one person to another person, but that's been added maybe, so she feels like Anna was saying, responsible for people, but she's now almost like I'm hearing, now I have to go here and then I have to go there, and that's a little different than, does that make sense? That she's having to do a little bit different things in terms of her normal routine or schedule.
Yeah.
She does feel attentive, whichever person she's going to, she does feel this obligation, which is kind of making her a little anxious. She sets high goals for herself, it seems like, in terms of taking care of her people.
Yeah, like a little Miss Kitty nurse or doctor. and she's also talking like giving you not only comfort but confidence as well. And she's saying like very often you brush off your successes and your accomplishment. And she's kind of like being there to almost like cheer you on, like you go, girl, you go. Does this make sense? Definitely giving you comfort.
Yeah, I think she's like a very comforting part of my life, and especially since I feel like she's kind of she's here for me every day. So it's nice to know.
I did feel just a little bit anxious about the changes, but it's not specifically like you mentioned a dog. I don't think it's that. It's just this time being able to keep up in the amount of love and caring and attention that she normally gives you or whoever else she does it. And I'm still feeling that a little bit, like this kind of like, he's the one in Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to be late, very, very late. Like I feel a little bit of that kind of going on in her head. A little, can I do it all? Can I get there? What else?
So I do have a little bit of a related question. My sister and I both are kind of in and out of the house, like living here for a little bit, living other places for a little bit, and my sister moved to Utah around the same time that I moved back home. So we kind of swap in and out. So I wonder if maybe that's part of the change and how she feels. And I just wonder if she like knows what it means when we're gone for longer.
I think I got a nod with that, so it's sort of like when you're going to be going somewhere, you need to let her know. You need to tell her, and you need to tell her that you'll be coming back.
Okay.
Because that really helps animals, because I think the changes had made her a little anxious, and just tell her out loud. And they don't understand time really, so you don't have to say, I'll be back in half an hour and worry about keeping it. Just say, I'll be back.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah, definitely. It doesn't feel to me like it's with the dog related, because she's saying, oh, she is very wise kitty. So it's like, she knows how to deal with the dog. That's not a trait. That's not a, She is much smarter than he is, and she knows how to deal with it.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think that helps a little, some bringing up these feelings she has, because she sort of seems like she's slowed down with the pacing, which I saw in the beginning. I have to be here, I have to be there. They're like, okay.
I just want her to be happy. I know she's getting up there in age, and I try to appreciate her every day I'm with her, and want her to be, know she's taken care of, and try to reciprocate that.
He knows that, I think.
But when you mention her age, she is like, I'm not going anywhere. So it feels like she is in a very good condition. Her energy feels very vibrant to me. And she's like, I'm not going anywhere. So
Yeah, I think she's pretty healthy, that I know, and she's pretty lively, so it's good.
Does that answer your question, you think?
So yeah, I was, I'm kind of curious about my dog and how she's adjusting, but then my cat, Miss Kitty, she's right here, she's with me, so I thought, well, maybe she would be better to kind of wonder to get some answers about, because I don't know her as she's not as silly as a dog.
but very wise, and she knows that.
Oh, thank you both so much.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We're running a little late. So Davy is going to draw the raffle winners now.
Okay, hey, thank you. I'm so glad that everyone was able to get a reading. We have 5 raffle winners that are going to win tonight, and you're going to get a 30-minute reading with one of the animal intuitives that are here tonight. And just before I do that, if you don't win, or if you want to, if you do win but you also want more, if you book a reading by September 24th, 15% of that will come to Cloven Heart Farm Sanctuary. So by September 24th, if you would like to book an additional reading with any of the animal mediums that are here, they will send us 15% as a donation. So we are really grateful for that. And if you'd like to learn more about the Animal Communication Collective in general, they do have a website called animalcommunicationcollective.com. I believe we have that also on our website on the page for this event. So please go visit them, as well as the individual animal intuitives that are here tonight. They're on that website on Cloven Heart Farm Sanctuary for the event. They also have their individual websites or social media where you can go and check them out more and follow them. Okay. So really, really want to thank everyone who participated tonight. Thank you for supporting Cloven Heart. Thank you for being part of this. I loved listening to everything and everyone, and I loved how in tune and spot on everyone seemed to be and to bring forth from the animals for you. And thank you so much, all you gifted and wonderful, powerful women intuitives. It was really wonderful. So I'm going to go ahead and 5 winners, and I believe I have to share my screen. Is that correct? So. And I have everyone's name up. I hope you can see this. And so if you purchase 3 tickets or 1 ticket, your name is in here that much. There will be 5 winners. And if you have won, then we will take and you end up with buying 2 tickets, then we'll take that out. So someone else has an opportunity to win. So 5 different winners for a 30-minute free reading. All right. So first winner. Is that going to spin or what? Okay. Ah. First winner is Kat. So congratulations, Kat.
Thank you. Wow.
Let's see. I think I pressed that. Done. And our second winner . Oh. Jane. Congratulations, Jane.
And Jane is going to donate that to someone else because Jane is a member of the ACC. So she bought that on behalf of someone who doesn't win tonight in the other ones.
Sorry, yeah, I'm just
No,
gonna
that's
unmute,
so nice.
unmute myself here. The name that comes that I can remember is Kelly. Kelly, you can have my ticket.
She had to step out, but I can let her know.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. She'll be thrilled. All right. And our next winner is, so that's 2 winners. So this is number 3. Amanda. So Amanda bought a ticket, but she bought a raffle ticket, but she did not buy a participation ticket. Oh. So going a little bit slow. Sorry about that. Okay. So here is winner number 4. Well, it looks like my Wi-Fi is not doing a very good job of being strong. Okay, next winner is Michelle. Michelle also just bought raffle tickets. So that is number 4. Okay, so one more winner. One more winner. Alrighty. So we have left out of 3. This is the worst raffle spin ever. I'm so sorry. Ah, Lisa. Lisa's the final winner. And so I guess I will turn it back over to you, Sally.
We want to thank you, everybody. Am I muted? No. Okay. Okay. We want to thank everybody for attending tonight, and we would love to do this again sometime. But it won't be in July when everybody is on vacation. So if you have any questions at all, you can go through Davy and let her know, and she'll be in touch with us. Thank you so much, and it was a pleasure. Good night, everyone.